Hi everyone, friends, let's go and see the climb for the World Championship that will be held in Maine, Arona, Gattico Veruno, and from the 11th to the 13th of July this year. I wanted to present a series of videos on the places where the various races will be organized. In particular, I wanted to start with the one on the climb that will be held on the last day, among the other things. So it will be the spectacular conclusion of the championship. I hope it will be fun for everyone. It's a moment of sharing, it's a moment of sharing our passion for these very special vehicles, trying to do a bit of all-round promotion. But can these vehicles go uphill? We will find during the championship right on this route. The start is very close to the base of the championship, right in Maine. It will be a start divided into 3 groups, or 4 groups depending on the numbers of competitors, so it will be a kind of time trial race, but all together, so it will be very fun. Here we are, the start will be on the straight. Let's see all the difficulties together, let's try to understand. As you can see, I've included the telemetry with all the most important data. At the top left, you can see the average that was maintained throughout the route. Then the power, the average was 70 km per hour, and the power was nearly 270. The route is about 2 kilometers and 600 meters. The streamliners, clearly there will be probably someone who will have to hold them, because however it's not a flat start. So for the lower ones or those who are not so stable, it's better to start behind. However, the route is timing. The timing will be from the starting line. When someone passes the starting line, it starts to count. So theoretically, one could start 2 or 3 minutes later, as only the route is considered, not to arrive first. However, at the top of the right, you can see the instantaneous gradient and the ascend, which is already 56 meters, because it's calculated is from a previous segment from the lake, actually. So keep in mind that's about 50 meters less than the total. The altitude is 263, the lake is about 207, 208, so we are 50 meters above the lake. You can see it, you saw in the initial images, when you could see the whole panorama, very nice panorama, but the panorama is fantastic at the start, where we will be in the point where I always take the photos, because you can really see the lake, you can see the rock of Dangiera, you can see almost Switzerland. It's really beautiful. We're not talking about Motarone, but it is still a beautiful viewpoint, so it will be nice just to start. But then there's suffering. As you can see, the first part, around the 100 meters, up to this point, the first part is quite tough. 6, 7, 8%, but you see that these gradients will more or less always be similar. But the first part is particularly tough. If you have to plan for gears, make sure you can reach at last 80%, 77% without being too long. So especially for Volomobiles, that's the maximum gradient. Here begins the locality of Piantini, which is what gives the name of the road. When you see the sign, you start to suffer a little less, but it's still a bit of suffering to go. Absolutely. The road is quite wide, you can see. I think there will be the possibility of overtake without any problem. We are still at 6% bumpy, but not excessively. There are a couple of Italian-style potholes, but like this one, but at the speed it doesn't matter much. It will be quite cool, I think, because apart from a few sunny spots, like this one, it goes into the woods. So for July, I think we will be suffer from the heat, but not so too much. However, being close to the lake is quite breezy. You don't suffer like you would be in the center of Milan, just to give you an idea. Here we enter the build-up area above Maine. We are at 700 meters from the start, so start to flatten out. You see 5, 6, 5%. Here you can see a big curve. It's not an hairpin bend, but it's the central, let's say, hairpin bend. You can see it on the map. When you see, okay, this straight, you can catch up your breath, or you can go low out, trying to take advantage of all the speed you of the speed of our spectacular vehicles. As you can see, it goes to 0%, so this is really flat. Okay, straight you see there are 200 or 300 meters completely flat, 30 kilometers per hour, 40 could be affordable. Okay, so in the video I say we have reached 1 kilometers. When you have 1 kilometers on your Garmin, give everything you can on the flat. There are these 5, 6, 700 meters, and then slowly start to climb again. Very, very slowly. But there will be nicely shaded, so when the curve starts again on the left, it starts to get tough again. But it's no longer the initial gradient, so it's manageable, you see. Even I, with my power, which is not exaggerated, I'm already at 26 kilometers per hour, so I think a Velomobile here can give easily 35, 40. And then we return on the woods. The road is very technical, don't underestimate it. For those who want to perform well, it must be managed. It's about a route of, let's say 8 minutes for the best, so let's say a power of definitely VO2 max, so above FTP. Here it picks up again, but I think it's very, very, very nice because it's very suitable for our vehicles, not exaggerated. However, you need to be light, you need to have instantaneous power, because in the end we're talking about 10 minutes effort. It's not much, but it must be managed, because if you start all out, you won't make it. I think it's less hard than the climb we did at the 2023 championship in Austria, where it was a really mountain climb. Maybe it was even longer, I think it was 4 kilometers. Here we are at 2 kilometers in general, but it can be done. It's still challenging. If you are light, you will make a huge difference. The recumbents will make the difference, in my opinion. They will be faster, but there is also that flat stretch where Velomobiles could recover something, let's say, for the overall. The total is, I think, 125 meters. Okay, 2 kilometers from the end. When you see the stretch of Corrail, 2 kilometers, and we are 700 meters from the finish. And the last part is more or less like this. 4-5% grade. Maybe it flattens out the very last part, you see. By the way, you see I'm using the 150 millimeter cranks, and they are the same ones that will be used in the bike that will be used in the race, which I recommended a lot. I must say that I've been using them lately, also on the climbing bike, so you have to spin a lot, but in the end the power doesn't change so much. When you see the Guarrail 500 kilometers from to the end, when you see the White House at the very, very end, 500 kilometers, the last 500 meters. Maybe we'll put up some sign, I don't know. Here you absolutely have to give you it all, but you must have some power left in your legs, in your heart, a minimum of energy. It's basically, here we are, it's basically the finish. 4%, as I was saying, it decreases, but it doesn't decrease that much. 20 kilometers per hour. I think here we can even reach 30 with the faster recumbents. Okay, so we arrive at about 380 meters above the sea. The last part is almost flat. You have to give it your all. 182 beats. You see now I'm almost at this limit. Okay, when you see the yellow house, that's the finish. We have arrived. Here it is. Here we will put the finish line and the timing, everything. When you see the sign for Gavio, you have arrived at Gavio, of course. Here you see the arrival, the parking at the arrival. Here, where there is this Peugeot, it will be all free. I hope. We'll position the gazebo, whatever it needed. I take my recumbent bike, my Rev, so to show you the last stretch. Basically, you won't be able to stop here because logically all the competitors will arrive at high speed. So they will have to continue towards the climb, towards Gavio, here on the right. Obviously the road will be open to traffic, so you will have to be very careful, and you will arrive at the stop sign just above when there is this space, and where we will position a refreshment, something to give comfort to the thirsty and tired cyclist. There's a bit of everything here. There's a bar, there's even charging for the electric bikes, there's a skating ring, and then on the end of the climb, when we are at the top, we will go back down, or someone could also take the longer route and go towards the fantastic San Carlone to ride. But obviously the roads are open to the public, so be careful, be very careful. Okay, these are the data related to the climb. It's called the main Agevio climb on Strava, or Piantini climb. The holder of the KOM is Manuel Iovoli, who is a semi-professional from the area, very strong. We see in the next video where we will present the track section of the 2-hour race, so the closed section on the road race. Bye everyone!